Hello! This is the RPG Crawler, and it is time, once again, for another CRPG News Roundup. This time for September 6th, 2025, where each week I take a look at the week in computer and console role-playing game news and bring you the highlights. And it looks like the venerable Puzzle Quest is getting a new version. Puzzle Quest Immortal Edition is set to release on September 18th, targeting the PC, PS4 and 5, Xbox One, and Series X, as well as the Switch. It'll be yet another remaster of the old Bejeweled-style Match 3 puzzle RPG from the DS era. I remember playing that one back in the day, and probably still have that copy. Anyway, Shinjoku is set to hit Switch on October 2nd. It has been available on other platforms for a little while now. It looks like it's a language learning and dungeon crawler. Tomb Water will land on November 12th on the PC. It looks like it's one of those Weird West-style offerings where eldritch beings meet Wild West aesthetics. It's focused on a cursed town where creatures are coming out of a nearby silver mine. A demo is currently available. Cards RPG, The Misty Battlefield, is getting a physical release. It looks like it'll target the Switch and the PS5 on December 4th. It has been available digitally since last year. Steel Century Groove is aiming for a January release. Set for January 28th of the next year on PC, it'll be a mecha dance battle RPG where you play a mecha pilot in a dance tournament. Also set for next year is Aegis Force, the Scorian War. It'll be a tactical RPG inspired by the classics in that genre, but use a 2.5D visual style. Hero of Sunset was announced for the PC, aiming for sometime next year. It'll be an action-adventure style RPG inspired by classic SNES titles with retro pixel art and a focus on exploration and puzzle solving. Crux Diaries was announced, although there is no release window yet. It'll be set for Steam and be a turn-based isometric CRPG set in a nation inspired by Eastern Europe in the 70s. On towards actual releases, Hell Is Us is an action RPG set in a war-torn country where you try to uncover your past. Jotun Slayer, Hordes of Hell, is an action RPG / hack-and-slash horde survival-style roguelike. They call these roguelikes. You basically fight off waves of enemies based on Norse mythology. The Minister is a turn-based RPG where you play a disciple of a Confucian sage in a fictional world obviously inspired by ancient China. Dark Slayer is a tactical RPG in which you play a high school student that's transported to a fantasy world where they believe you to be the reincarnation of a legendary hero. Rogue Labyrinth is an action RPG roguelite in which you fight through a monster-filled labyrinth created by a billionaire for the entertainment of a crowd. Party Harvest is a farm management / life sim style RPG where you care for a farm and deal with the townsfolk, as is typical in these games. Salvagers is an adventure RPG in a sci-fi setting where you command a small crew of explorers gathering loot from abandoned ships and stations. Trench Face is a horror turn-based RPG where you explore trench-based dungeons in a World War I style setting. Finally, there's Overlooting, which is less a true RPG and more of those casual inventory management style RPGs. It's a roguelike with skill trees that change each run. And on that note, let's take a look at crowdfunding campaigns. Remember that contributing to a crowdfunding campaign should be done only at your own risk. Doing so is no guarantee you even receiving a product. Mentioned here is not an endorsement, but is for informational purposes only. Crystal Rail looks like it's going to be a roguelike train game with hand-painted graphics set in a crystal punk world, which I assume to be one of those fantasy aetherpunk style genres. It's basically science plus magic. Anyway, finally, there is A Lovely Way to Burn, which looks to be a cinematic action RPG in which you play a young woman descending into hell to try to reclaim her mother's soul from the devil. And wow, it was a short week this week. Short video, and I'm probably going to miss this because I only just realized now that I didn't save any of the thumbnails that I needed for this because my cat was harassing me. And still is harassing me. Thank you very much, great cat. Anyway, I'm going to wrap things up here. This has been the RPG Crawler, my CRPG News Roundup for September 6th, 2025. As always, links will be below. If you like what you've seen, remember to leave a like, commenting on any feedback, and subscribe for more RPG content, including an upcoming review, which I will be producing. Hopefully, I think I'll be able to release it on the same day that the upcoming RPG that it's based on will release, although it may be a day or two after. Anyway, until next time, take care and goodbye. And if you are still watching, I would like to take the opportunity to thank my supporters, the top tiers of which are listed on the screen, without whose support I would not have been able to offer the variety of content that I have on this channel throughout the years. If you're feeling particularly generous and would like to join them, you can support the channel. There are a variety of options to do so. I have a Patreon, a Subscribe Star, as well as channel memberships enabled, If you are not in a position to contribute, simply leaving a like, a comment, or sharing my videos are all wonderful ways to help the channel grow without spending a dime, and are all greatly appreciated.